Hello, this is Todd Luck, and it's been a few years, but we're finally getting another comic devoted to Barsoom, better known as Mars, from Dynamite Comics. This is Altered State Warlords that is coming out in July. That's when the first issue is hitting. It is a four-issue miniseries, and so Dynamite has been using Tarzan and the Mars characters, but in recent years, it's only been in crossovers that have a lot of other characters in there. And so it's nice that they're in these big crossovers, but obviously they're only a small part of a much larger story. And usually those stories involve other tie-ins, other miniseries that you have to get. And so, as far as I can tell, Altered States is not that, right? This is just one four-issue miniseries, and it's just these five characters. We have John Carter of Mars and Deja Thoris, who are, of course, Martian characters. We have Tarzan of the Apes, another Burroughs creation. And then we have Vampirilla and Red Sonja, and that's it. It's just these five characters. It's written by David Avallone with artwork by Mariano Benitez Chapo. And both of these gentlemen worked on separate stories in an anthology one-shot called Savage Tales that Dynamite put out in 2022. I haven't heard of this before, but the writer actually worked on a John Carter and Deja Thoris story in that one-shot. So Altered States is a series of alternate reality stories similar to Elseworlds at DC or What If for Marvel. And so in this miniseries, Red Sonja is going to be teleported to Mars. And unlike previous comics where that's happened, this is going to be from her own time period, right? Red Sonja exists in this fictional time period before recorded time. And so she's going to get there a long time before John Carter, and she's going to come into some conflict, right? The Therns aren't going to like it. And so she is dramatically going to alter the history of Mars. And so when John Carter finally gets there, he's going to get a much different reception. It's going to be a much different Barsoom. And so that's going to be very interesting to see in this miniseries. And then somehow Tarzan's going to end up on Mars, and also Vampirilla. And so it sounds like a very interesting miniseries. And I just got to say, guys, this is the best artwork I have seen on a Mars comic in a long, long time. And that counts for a whole lot. And the same goes for the covers. You're looking at connecting covers. They'll be available for each of the four issues. And so this actually looks pretty interesting. I mean, the covers are actually active and interesting and seem to have something to do with what happens in the interior. I mean, Dynamite is actually putting effort into this miniseries, and that's very, very nice to see. And so here are some of the covers for the first issue. Again, that hits in July, and the variant covers are focusing on Red Sonja and her arrival on Mars. I love the one with her carrying that head of the white ape. That looks really cool. And so the second issue covers are here, and obviously they are very John Carter and Deja Thoris centric. And so again, it's nice to see a mini series with this type of artwork, has an interesting concept, and actually has good covers. And so I don't know, I might check this out. In other Burroughs related news, the sequel to Beyond 30 is up for pre-order. It's called Beyond 30, A World Reborn, and you're looking at the cover by Darren Bader. He's also going to be doing a frontispiece for this novel, and it's going to be written by Jeffrey Marriott. And if that name sounds familiar, he also wrote Tarzan and the Forest of Stone, which was a solid novel that came out in recent years. I did a review of it if you want to check that out. And so it's up right now for pre-order on EdgarRiceBurroughs.com, and it's available in softcover, hardcover, and collector's edition. And if you order it from EdgarRiceBurroughs.com, you get exclusive bonus trading cards. And so every order will come with this card, which is basically just kind of a random character from the Beyond the Furthest Star Victory Harbin comics. And then the collector's edition will come with an additional exclusive card of the cover that's only going to be available with the collector's edition. And so I'm just going to show you some artwork from the online strip based on the original novel as I talk about this. And so the original Beyond 30, also known as The Lost Continent, is a post-apocalyptic novel by Edgar Rice Burroughs. And so in this novel, the First World War has raged out of control and devastated the Eastern Hemisphere. And so to protect the rest of the world, you're not supposed to go beyond the 30th meridian to get to Europe or Africa. And so, of course, something goes wrong on a ship and a crew ends up stranded in post-apocalyptic Europe, and it has devolved into savagery with savage animals and savage tribes. In the sequel, the hero Jefferson Turk will once again leave Pan America for post-apocalyptic England, where he's once again going to be reunited with Victory, no relation to Victory Harbin, who is the rightful Queen of England. And so his mission is to get her onto the throne and restore order to England. And he's going to encounter some folks who have more advanced weaponry than he does. And so the mission is going to become more dangerous and more complicated than he anticipated. So it definitely sounds like an interesting novel. And just as a side note, if you're interested in getting this strip and many, many more, it's part of the comic strip subscription service on edgarriceburroughs.com. That's only $22 a year. And if you're interested in reading the original novel, Edgar Rice Burroughs Inc. also has you covered. They recently put out Beyond 30 Restored Edition, and this is the original novel with 4,000 extra words added in that were edited out of the original edition by an editor. And so you're going to be able to read them here, and it's going to have some extras, including a frontispiece by Frank Frazetta. This is not going to be part of the authorized library that has the Joe Jusko covers. This is a way for them to kind of get this novel out there so you can read it in time for the sequel. And I'm having a very hard time finding this novel anywhere other than edgarriceburroughs.com. It is available on Amazon, but I had to go to their Amazon store to find it, which is amazon.com/Tarzan. But honestly, guys, if you can, I recommend just getting off edgarriceburroughs.com anyway. You'll get the exclusive trading card that comes with it, and it will be shipped to you properly, so it will not arrive damaged. And to me, that is infinitely worth the price of shipping. And just a reminder, Tarzan Beyond is going to begin in June. This is the new comic series from Alien Books. And these are some of the covers for the second issue. And if your retailer is having a hard time finding it in their system, because my comic shop did, just let them know that this is the same company that is putting out the Valiant titles and that they've partnered with IDW to distribute their titles. Comic distribution has gotten kind of complicated in recent years. All right, that's it. Like and subscribe for more videos. And until next time, see ya.